Okay, good evening, everyone. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time for some Doctor Who news. News from in and around the Whoniverse that may or may not affect you on some level. Now, things got really weird with the release of the little 2-minute prologue. Now, people do not get confused. This is not the prequel. The prequel that is scheduled is called The Doctor's Meditation. It is referred to in the prologue, but The Doctor's Meditation is scheduled for 10 minutes. So do not think for a second that more than likely, that this is going to be the case where this is this is not the prequel, this is the prologue. And as we all found out, BBC America will be showing the prequel the day before at 10 p.m. I believe it is before Magicians Apprentice airs. So really weird stuff going on as it is. Okay, now hang on a second. I forgot to do something. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at what we do have. Let's see what we've got. We got some interesting stuff. Let's go for it. Okay, first off, of course, the Magicians Apprentice Prologue. And of course, this is the 2-minute prologue to the Magicians Apprentice, which will air on September 19th. Now, this was a very interesting segment because it featured the return of Claire Higgins as Ohelia, one of the head of the Sisterhood of Karn. So pretty interesting stuff on that front alone, given that last time we saw this particular character was when the 8th Doctor was had to regenerate and became the Puma Doctor. But okay, moving on. 14 things we learned from Doctor Who's Magician's Apprentice, and this is just there's nothing really spoilery, just a lot of close-up shots and some ominous signs, some ominous lines. So far, nothing that really makes anything stick out, or nothing you've actually, not seen before. So don't worry about this. This ain't too spoilery. All right, moving on. This is a nice little behind the scenes of the prologue that was done. This is only a few minutes long, but it's over here on the BBC channel. The Doctor Who one. Whew. And if you want to go check it out, I thought it was very, very entertaining with Claire Higgins standing there discussing, what it was like, to be coming back as Ohelia. So, okay, moving on. How does the Doctor Who team keep spoilers a secret? Well, according to the Moff, and this is what he said to the folks at BBC Newsbeat who caught up with him, he said, quote, "We're rubbish at it. I don't know how we get away with it because we always forget which code name refers to who. Then we have to say it, and it's just a disaster. Yes, we try. To be absolutely honest, the way our secrecy works is the generosity of fans and the press and not allowing us to trip ourselves up too much because we're always screwing it up very badly." Now, Whovians on the whole prefer not to be spoiled, but, there's a few out there who go a little crazy, like I get past stuff every now and then. But, I generally won't reveal it, and even if I did, I'd put a spoiler warning on it anyway. Okay, moving on. More sneak peeks at Doctor Who Dimensions. Excitement's building for the release of the Doctor Who Lego Dimensions release. Whew, let's see. All right, so if you want to go look at this, all right, you scan down a little bit. There's a video here, and it's yay long. Lego Dimensions, of course, can be released on September 27th, with a Doctor Who level pack following on November 3rd, and the Cyberman Fun Pack following on January 19th of 2016. So if you want to go check this out, here it is. I'm not a big Lego collector myself here. I'm not really that much in the game consoles, so I leave this one up to you folks who are into that. Okay, moving on. It turns out Peter Capaldi is the direct Veep episodes. That's right, a new episode. So in a new interview with Shortlist magazine, Peter Capaldi has been discussing projects outside of Doctor Who. Now, the Astor was asked about making a cameo in a U.S. sitcom, Veep, which was created by Armando Iannucci, but as the old character Malcolm Tucker from another show said, the thick of it, he said, quote, "Sure, why not? It would be fine by me. I'm about to direct a couple of episodes. Does that count? That seems like the compromise option." Now, the only thing is, Doctor Who takes up so much of my time. It doesn't leave a lot of time to do other things. The whole team are all dear friends. I'd love to work with them at some point again. Of course, Chris Edison has also directed episodes of Veep. He was a guest star in Doctor Who Series 8. You can read the full interview here if you want to go check it out. Okay, moving onward. Doctor Who Series 9, Mark Gatiss talks, episode 9. Sorry about that. My allergies are driving me nuts today. Writer and actor Mark Gatiss has been talking to ABC Radio National about Wolf Hall, Sherlock, of course, and Doctor Who. Now, to read the full interview, you can go here. Recording his story for Doctor Who Series 9, a found footage episode, Gatiss said, quote, "Well, I've had this story in my mind for a long time. It's set in the future. It's all from different points of view, which has not been done before on Doctor Who. It's been quite a challenge to make because you have to break a lot of the usual rules in terms of what you can actually show. Anything you can do to shake the format up is very exciting, and that's what we've done." Now, Mark's episode is the 9th of the new series, which starts on September 19th. Now, he moved on to discuss the BBC and the prospect of it being removed. Quote, "It would diminish the world. It's as simple as that. It's a fantastic industry, and it seems remarkable that we have to worry about defending the BBC from trying to make money. It's a world-recognized brand of incredible quality, and if we let it go, we will regret it forever." And that's a very true statement. Moving on, GT Space and Time Travel interview with Tennant, Tate, Sladen, Smith, and more. GT Magazine have announced details of its new Doctor Who special available today, Time and Space. This exclusive 178-page collection features interviews from the last decade of Doctor Who, Torchwood, and the Sarah Jane Adventures with David Tennant, Matt Smith, John Hurt, Russell T. Davies, John Barrowman, Liz Sladen, Catherine Tate, Russell Tovey, Mark Gatiss, Arthur Darvill, Nyako Mori, and Andrew Hayden Smith, and many, many more. Now, it's priced at $2.99, or it's £2.99, or I believe that's $3.99, and it's available now. You can order it online here. GT editor Darren Scott told Blogger, quote, for the very first interview that's published in this special edition of GT, I told Elizabeth Sladen that Sarah Jane was one of the reasons I wanted to become a journalist. She was delighted and told me to put that in the piece. The rest is history, and I've used the time scoop to take a little journey back to my own timeline and revisit classic interviews with the stars of my favorite shows. Oh, and the memories converging in the memories converging in one time zone. Thankfully, the hangovers have been relegated to the past, but I hope people enjoy them. And we never did get that figure of Donna in a wedding dress. Okay, also keeping going on. Sorry, it's just, like I said, my allergies are kicking me in the butt today. Upcoming Doctor Who book range. Matter of fact, you want to go check all these out if you're interested in that line. Upcoming Doctor Who book range. Okay, here we go. Now we've got the model building book. We've got Time Lord Quiz Quest. We also have got the Cyber and the Doctor Who Ultimate and Time and Space collection. And if you want to check that out, it contains 3 incredible hardback Doctor Who titles: The Dictionary, 100 Scariest Monsters, and The Essential Guide to 50 Years of Doctor Who. Buy here. You can also get the Time Lord. Sorry, that's right. They do have a buy here below each of these if you're interested in them. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Time Lord Fairy Tales, The Dangerous Book of Monsters, of course, the annual, and the Doctor Who coloring book. And there you go. So right here also it tells you what date they're available if you're interested. Okay, I should have been reading those off, but like I said, I'm just afraid to get this one done because I am really, really behind tonight. Okay, Doctor Who figurine collection. Okay, the Foretold, and this particular Dalek you may want to pay very, very close attention to. Now, you folks who are not as well versed in the classic series as most of us are, in Planet of the Daleks, there was a very special Dalek who was, part of the Supreme Council. But this particular Dalek was very special for another reason. Anyone want to know? Okay. This particular Dalek was salvaged from one of the Peter Cushing movies and revamped for that episode and given that paint job. Matter of fact, you'll notice the difference in the base and I think height, and I think these were the original eye things, but then they put a freaking flashlight for his eye stalk. Oh, man. But if you want to check this out, here it is. Here's a little detail on them. There you go. And lastly for today, like I said, I'm sorry I'm heaving a little bit, but weather's changing. My allergies are going ape crap, and I forgot to take my antihistamine. Oh, man. Okay, new Doctor Who Time Squad figures. Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking that in. I was joking around with the guys earlier today saying, why do they all look like they got to take a ferocious dump? But okay, official creator of Doctor Toys and Playsets Character Options have announced their brand new Time Squad collection, and these are a collection of 10 little 2.5-inch characters that are going to be available to order in October. And you click on the images to take a look at the bigger versions of them if you want. They'll be just £2.99, which is fine for younger collectors or for diehard fans who just want to stick something up on the shelf. And the new Time Squad figures, as you've seen, I picture all these guys right here. And like I said, £2.99, we'll get them for you. Okay, it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy week, folks. I had to work. I have to work 6 days this week. Then I'm going to Cincinnati Comic Expo next weekend. and we're going to have a little fun out there before we come back on home that evening. And all I can say is this. Here's my tip for the day. I've had a lot of people say a lot of things about me. And you know what? The best thing you do is ignore them. I'm not kidding. It's just crazy. That's a lot of weirdness going on, a lot of irritation. Don't let people get you down. Really don't. And one of my favorite rules, one of the first things I ever ran into on the internet, never explain yourself. Don't. Because your friends already know you, and they're the people that matter, and your enemies will never listen. So take that with you. Catch you all tomorrow. Remember, Omega Files comes back next weekend on the 19th for the premiere of Series 9. So catch y'all probably Monday. Have a good one.